How to fix poor graphics quality in Ranch Simulator with RTX 4060 DLSS Ultra Performance mode. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we're diving deep into a prevalent and often perplexing issue: experiencing poor graphics quality in Ranch Simulator, even when equipped with a robust GPU like the RTX 4060 and employing advanced features such as DLSS. Many users, expecting pristine visuals, find their gameplay marred by blurriness, artifacting, or general lack of detail, particularly when DLSS Ultra Performance mode is enabled. This comprehensive guide will meticulously dissect the root causes behind these visual discrepancies, ranging from incorrect DLSS configurations to overlooked system and driver optimizations. We will provide a step-by-step technical methodology to unleash the full graphical potential of your RTX 4060, transforming your Ranch Simulator experience into the visually immersive adventure it's meant to be. The core of the problem often lies in the specific interaction between Ranch Simulators, rendering pipeline, and aggressive DLSS scaling at lower resolutions. While DLSS Ultra Performance is designed to maximize frame rates, its internal rendering resolution can be excessively low for 1080p displays, leading to a noticeable degradation in, coupled with default game settings or suboptimal NVIDIA Control Panel configurations. This can result in an experience far below what your powerful hardware is capable of. Our solutions will address these facets comprehensively, ensuring a crystal-clear, high-fidelity visual experience. DLSS mode recalibration. The most critical step involves recalibrating your DLSS settings within Ranch Simulator. Specifically, switching from DLSS Ultra Performance to either quality or balanced mode is paramount when playing at 1080p, as Ultra Performance significantly reduces the internal rendering resolution. This leads to noticeable image degradation and artifacting despite increased frame rates, whereas quality ensures a higher base resolution for superior visual sharpness. NVIDIA Control Panel Global 3D Settings. Access the NVIDIA Control Panel and navigate to Manage 3D Settings. Then select the Global Settings tab. Here, set Power Management Mode to prefer maximum performance to prevent any GPU clock throttling and ensure consistent peak performance. Additionally, configure texture filtering quality to high quality for optimal visual fidelity across all applications. NVIDIA Control Panel Program Specific Settings. Under Manage 3D Settings, switch to the Program Settings tab and locate Ranch Simulator. Apply targeted optimizations, such as enabling anisotropic filtering to 16x and ensuring texture filtering negative LOD bias is set to clamp, overriding any less optimal in-game defaults. This ensures that graphics settings are specifically tailored for the game's engine. Update game-ready drivers. Ensure your NVIDIA GeForce game-ready drivers are updated to the very latest version available. New driver releases frequently include performance optimizations, stability fixes, and specific profile enhancements for popular titles like Ranch Simulator, which are crucial for optimal RTX and DLSS functionality. Always perform a clean installation to avoid any lingering configuration issues. Adjust in-game texture quality. Within Ranch Simulator's graphics options, prioritize texture quality by setting it to High or Ultra if your RTX 4068 GB of RAM allows. High-resolution textures are fundamental to sharp, detailed visuals and significantly impact the perceived realism of environmental assets and character models. Reducing texture quality can instantly make the game appear blurry or low resolution. Optimize shadow quality and resolution. Shadows are notoriously performance-intensive. However, excessively low shadow quality can significantly detract from visual realism. Find a balance by setting shadow quality to medium or high and ensure shadow resolution is not set too low, which can result in pixelated or blocky shadows that degrade overall scene quality. Experiment with post-processing effects. Review and selectively adjust or disable post-processing effects such as bloom, depth of field, DOF, and motion blur within the game settings. While intended for cinematic effect, these can sometimes introduce unwanted blurriness, haziness, or visual distortions that diminish overall clarity, especially when combined with DLSS. Configure anti-aliasing settings. Beyond DLSS, carefully manage other in-game anti-aliasing options, e.g., TA, FZA, MSAA. If DLSS is active, additional anti-aliasing methods might conflict or redundantly process the image, potentially leading to a softer or less defined picture. Consider disabling other AA solutions if DLSS quality mode provides sufficient edge smoothing. Fine-tune foliage and draw distance. Settings for foliage quality and draw distance can heavily impact both CPU and GPU performance in open-world games like Ranch Simulator. While important for immersion, excessively low settings can make the environment appear sparse or textures pop in noticeably. Adjust these settings incrementally to balance visual density with smooth frame rates. Ensure anisotropic filtering is maxed for crisp textures even at oblique viewing angles, which is critical for visual depth in sprawling environments. Ensure anisotropic filtering is set to 16x. This can typically be configured either in the game's graphics settings or forced through the NVIDIA Control Panel's program-specific profile for Ranch Simulator. Verify game file integrity. Corrupted or missing game files can manifest as graphical glitches, texture errors, or general visual inconsistencies. Utilize Steam's Verify Integrity of Game Files function, which scans your installation for discrepancies and automatically reacquires any damaged or missing assets, ensuring a pristine game environment. Optimize shader cache. The shader cache stores compiled shader programs for faster loading and reduced stuttering. Ensure your NVIDIA Control Panel has shader cache size set to a reasonable limit, e.g., driver default or unlimited. Occasionally clearing the shader cache can resolve issues stemming from corrupted or outdated shader data. Activate Windows Game Mode and Focus Assist. Enable Game Mode in Windows settings to prioritize system resources for Ranch Simulator, enhancing performance by minimizing background process interference. Additionally, configure Focus Assist to suppress notifications during gameplay, preventing distracting pop-ups that can disrupt immersion or cause brief stutters. Configure Windows Power Management. Access your Windows Power options and select the High Performance or Ultimate Performance plan. This ensures your CPU and GPU operate at their maximum clock speeds without throttling due to power-saving measures, providing consistent performance vital for maintaining high graphical fidelity and frame rates. Manage background applications. Close any unnecessary applications running in the background before launching Ranch Simulator. Resource-intensive programs like web browsers with many tabs, streaming services, or other demanding software can consume valuable CPU cycles, RAM, and GPU resources, potentially impacting game performance and graphical rendering. Confirm monitor refresh rate and resolution. Double-check that your monitor is running at its native resolution, e.g., 1920x1080, and its highest available refresh rate, e.g., 144 Hz, in both Windows display settings and Ranch Simulator's graphics options. An incorrect resolution or refresh rate can lead to a blurry. Proper VSync/G-Sync/FreeSync configuration. Correctly configure your vertical synchronization settings. If you have a G-Sync or FreeSync compatible monitor, enable it in NVIDIA Control Panel and in game, then disable traditional VSync for the smoothest experience without tearing. For non-adaptive sync displays, Use FreeSync if screen tearing is an issue, but be mindful of input lag. Update DirectX runtime components. Ensure your Windows installation has the latest DirectX runtime components, as games heavily rely on these for low-level graphics processing. Although Windows Update typically handles this, manually checking for and installing the latest DirectX redistributable can resolve underlying rendering issues. Advanced config file tweaks, expert level. For advanced users, consider manually editing Ranch Simulator's configuration files, e.g., engine, INI or game user settings. INI located in app data to fine-tune specific visual parameters not exposed in the in-game UI. This can include overriding default scalability settings or adjusting render distances with greater precision for enhanced fidelity. Monitor system temperatures. Utilize monitoring software, e.g., MSI Afterburner HYNFO64, to keep an eye on your GPU and CPU temperatures during gameplay. Elevated temperatures can lead to thermal throttling, where components reduce their clock speeds to prevent overheating, resulting in significant performance drops and graphical inconsistencies. Ensure adequate cooling. By systematically applying these deep-dive technical solutions, you will not only resolve the poor graphics quality in Ranch Simulator, but also unlock the full visual potential of your RTX 4060, transforming your gameplay into a truly immersive and stunning experience. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more expert technical guides and hardware insights.